Hello and welcome into the Week 7 edition of the Commissioner's Corner in the League of Extraordinary Salesmen. The 49ers got a solid win on Sunday Night Football against the Falcons, 20-10, and are somehow 5-2, while the Jets are just unraveling at this point. Lose to the decimated Panthers 13-6 and are currently 0-7. God, atrocious. But a congratulations goes out to Dolan, earning this week's high score with a 164.05 to 81.25 ass whooping over Jesse. It was Bo Nix, CeeDee Lamb, and JSN. They all three of them combined for more points than Jesse's entire squad. Good Lord, that's embarrassing. Well, with that, let's take a look at our worst to first segment brought to you by Jeff.
So, I'm making this worst first video in the literal 2 minutes I have in between picking up my son and then having to go back to work. Very, very apt given the shitty situation that I'm in, as well as the fact that my team absolutely shit the bed. I cannot believe that 90% of my team put up single digits. It is just absolutely fucking incredible. I don't think I've ever scored this low in the history of the league. But a congratulations to Dolan on high score of the week. Really outdid yourself. And of course to Nick, outperforming all expectations for you this year. So props to you too, buddy. Truthfully, good luck to everybody this week. I'm going to go try and find some time to get some sleep, but y'all have a wonderful week.
Nothing more telling in fantasy than Jeff sitting in his car completely despondent, shaking his head, and wondering how he ended up in this situation, scoring 71 points. Just really, really bad. But with that, let's take a look at some other matchups from around the league. Matt was finally able to shed the demons with 8 players scoring over 10 points to give him the 152.6 to 107.9 win over Val. And a big congratulations goes out to Matt for winning a game before Halloween. Jacob gave it everything he had to stop the bleeding, but Goody got a nice return from Rashee Rice to deliver a 130.1 to 128.8 victory. Nick should be thanking Jeff for being so atrocious this week that he didn't need to crack 95 points to get the 93.5 to 71.2 win. This was a high-scoring affair that somehow worked out in my favor with 3 players scoring 0 points while actually playing in the game. But Jahmyr Gibbs saved me with 40 points on Monday night to give me a 153.5 to 141.4 victory. And in the game of the week, Simmons struggled to get anything going with Rome Odunze, Nico Collins, or J.K. Dobbins all having subpar games, while Matthew continues his powerhouse run with Patty Mahomes, CMC, and Devontae Adams all dialing back the clock to their prime fantasy days to give Matthew a 154.7 to 110.8 win over Simmons.
Hey guys, welcome to another demoralizing week of fantasy football, mainly for Jesse, Nick, and Jeff and I. But congrats, Matt. I was like, you deserve your first big win, and that was huge. Wasn't even remotely close in this game. Hopefully Jesse can come up with another shit team name so that guarantees whoever he's facing another big win each and every week. And hopefully I can get my shit together and at least participate in the remainder of this league. But anyway, it's time for your Sitter Sub of the Week segment. The Sit of the Week goes to Jacob, where he played Jakobi Meyers, who was listed as out over either one of his last remaining healthy players. Those two scores are, of course, pathetic at 2.7 and 4.4, respectively, but even just the measly 2.7 points from Luther Burden would have been enough to give him that win over Goody. And the sub of the week goes to Dolan with the waiver wire pickup of that Browns defense. They took advantage of a demoralized Dolphins team with 3 picks, a fumble recovery, and a tutty to get 23 points. And to add insult to injury, Jesse's defense got him -3 points on the day. So in the end, that helped him secure that weekly high score and an easy win over Jesse. Well, this has been unofficially brought to you by Pizza Deli Midtown, where Aloha is served daily.
Looking ahead to next week, after my lucky win over Tony, I am taking on Jesse, who has now lost 5 in a row after a 2-0 start. Matthew has rattled off 6 consecutive wins after losing week 1, is going up against Tony, who is looking to take down the #1 seed. Simmons is rocking the bold triple tight end strategy, taking on Val, who finds herself on a 2-game losing streak. Dolan is sitting at 5-2 and looking for another win here against Jacob's hapless squad. Goody has moved up the standings recently with back-to-back wins, taking on Jeff, who has fallen on hard times after that low-score video. And in the game of the week, it's Matt taking on Nick. Matt, fresh off his first win of the season, hopes to ride the hot tush of Jalen Hurts, going up against Nick, who is feeling himself at 6-1 and believing he has a real shot at the championship this season. Despite them being brothers, that's where the love ends. This week, it's all on the line for who gets bragging rights. So as we look ahead to week 8, the Vikings are taking on the Chargers on Amazon Prime Video on Thursday night, while the 49ers have an early game against the Texans. Hopefully they can get another win there going to Houston, while the Jets might not be able to even beat the Bengals without Joe Burrow. Instead, they have Joe Flacco coming at the helm. Then an interesting game on Sunday Night Football as the Packers go to Pittsburgh and face the Steelers, followed up by the Commanders and the Chiefs on Monday night. So well in the swing of things in the middle of the football season, people are starting to jockey for some early playoff potential. And of course, we know who are at the bottom of the standings, myself included. So best of luck this week, and Commissioner out.